This is the North Shore Community Association's podcast, March 19th, 2021. Hello again, this is Max Cote, the NSCA Development Agent.
And I'm Annie Lafrenière, the NSCA Programs and Communications Coordinator.
We have a great interview this week. We'll look further at the Cégep de Sept-Îles bilingual option of social sciences program. We will cover community events and activities after the interview. The Social Science Pre-University program is a 2-year program or a 4-semester program that opens your possibilities to study in more than 46 concentrations in university. Such concentrations could be philosophy, psychology, geography, sociology, history, politics, education, law, just to name a few. Some of the program goals are to distinguish the main facts, notions, and concepts related to the human phenomena, explain theories, laws, models, and schools of thought in relation to their authors and concrete situations, demonstrate the qualities associated with scientific intellect and critical thinking, develop intellectual rigor necessary for advanced studies, learn to use social science methodologies such as reasoning, hypothesis deduction, rationale arguments, and scientific method. Learn to correctly interpret information in the news, general articles, and statistics seen on a daily basis and use appropriate information technologies. Today on the NSCA's podcast, we'll revisit the Cégep de Sept-Îles Bilingual Option Social Science Program, or BOSS for short. In the fall of 2020, we interviewed Kyra Robertson, academic advisor of the Cégep de Sept-Îles, in the context of a career capsule on professional orientation counseling. The NSCA wanted to revisit parts of that interview to shed more light into the BOSS program and promote it to high school students on the North Shore. Hello, Kyra. Nice to speak to you again today.
Hi, it's nice to see you.
My first question is, how is the Cégep de Sept-Îles BOSS program similar or different from social science programs in out-of-region English CEGEPs?
So, I guess it's a good question. Some people don't know this, but I think they know it more and more that the Cégep de Sept-Îles is a bilingual cégep. So we only have a couple of those in Quebec, 3 or 4 if I'm not mistaken. So you have Gaspésie-des-Îles, that's also bilingual like the Cégep de Sept-Îles. But then when you go out to the cities, either you find only French cégeps or just only English cégep, so you don't have the bilingual in the cégeps. More and more of our students that come into cégep also are bilingual, either coming from Francophone high schools or English high schools, and like that option. But we also have like only French programs or only English programs. It's not a mandatory thing that we have going on here. It's just to have more possibilities for our students that are coming to the Cégep. So I guess what makes us different from other Cégeps is that possibility. So if you want to, say you're coming from a high school, you studied in English, but you can speak perfectly well French, you're perfectly bilingual, your friends are French, or you have English friends too, and you're just a little bit maybe afraid of taking your French courses in Cégep or the philosophie courses. So at the Cégep de Sept-Îles, what we can offer you is taking English literature instead of the French, and also taking humanities instead of philosophie. So that helps a lot of our students coming from Sept-Îles and from the coast. And that's not an option you have in many Cégeps, like I just explained.
What would be the major advantages of a student from the North Shore to go to Sept-Îles for this program versus another region?
So I guess I might repeat myself, but it's of course there is that possibility of like having your own personalized program, having like either French or English or both. And I guess also the advantages of Sept-Îles for our students from the region is the proximity to your hometown. So, say if you want to go back for the weekend or travel not too long, I guess, or like have less than 12-hour drives to get back home, it could be a great option for that. Since we're also close to home, well, I guess you feel more secure in your first experience. So if it's your first year out of your hometown and you want to have an experience but are not quite ready for the big city, well, Sept-Îles can be a good option for that. Also, well, Sept-Îles is a lot less big than, say, Cégep de Vanier or other English Cegeps in the city, so you have a lot of more personalized services. And also, well, since we don't have a lot of students, that's it. We know most of our students, and we keep track of them. So if they need anything, they always know who to call or to write to.
Can you explain the details of the mobility bursary and how a student can apply to this fund?
So that's one of the advantages that I didn't mention in the second question, but it's quite interesting. So we have a mobility program that's available on our the English section of the site and the French section of the site. And when you click on the description of the bursaries, you'll see that either you choose, I guess it depends on the program you choose. So say you're coming in soins infirmiers and you do the bilingual option or whatever, and you're from Fermont. So you have different bursaries, either from where you're from and the program you choose. Same thing, say somebody from Blanc-Sablon that's coming into social science, well, they'll get a certain amount every semester, plus either transportation. And then something that's new this year is that we're giving our students choices, either a paddle board, skis, or snowboards. So students can choose before they enter Cégep, and they'll get these things in their first couple of weeks of school. We're giving these things out, and it's for all the students that come from all the regions that I've mentioned, so except like Sept-Îles and around Sept-Îles, but like Fermont, Havre-Saint-Pierre, Rivière-au-Tonnerre, baie-comeau, Saguenay, everywhere on the lower North Shore as well. So from like Blanc-Sablon, St. Augustine, and Tabacher, everywhere like that. So you all get these bursaries plus your choice, I guess, of activity that you want to have. So either you choose a paddleboard, skis, or a snowboard, or you could choose also to have your flight being taken care of. So say you're from Blanc-Sablon and you'd like to go home for Christmas vacation, well, then you'll get $1,300 about to take the plane home.
In my research of the POS program, I noticed that there's a possibility to become a student for a day. What would the student do and visit during this day, and how would they apply to take part in this activity?
So again, on our site, we have the Student for a Day page, and you just go register your name, your email address, and which program you're interested in. And we have a lot of Student for a Days. So students register for that, and then they come to the Cégep. We organize the whole day with teachers, depending on the schedule, of course, of the courses. So we're going to take you in to explore certain classes. We're not going to put you like in a third or four-year class. So it's going to be mostly first-year classes. And then you'll be able to participate actively in the class. Usually there's more than one student that comes. So we usually have like one or two or three students that are participating in the Student for a Day. So then you'll have the class, you'll visit the labs, you'll talk with the teachers, you're going to be talking with students as well that are doing the program. And we're going to let you try out the English sector and the French sector if that's what you want to do. And then you have lunch at the cafeteria. So we give you a little ticket. You go have lunch with the teachers or the students. And usually it's really a day thing, but you can also come just for the morning or just for the afternoon, depending on what your interests are. So say if you're interested in nursing, usually that's a full day thing. Industrial maintenance is a full day thing as well. Social science, we're going to do like half a day plus lunch. So it depends on what you're interested in. And I mean, it doesn't mean that you have to register right away for that program. So if you're just like curious and you're not sure of the program you want to choose, you're not sure if you want to choose Cégep de Sept-Îles and you just want to kind of come see what the Cégep's all about, it's a great option for that. So we encourage a lot of students to do the student for a day just to make sure that they're taking the right path and they know what they're getting themselves into next year too.
I also found a mobile application of the Cégep de Sept-Îles. Can you explain to me what we can use this app for?
So the Cégep de Sept-Îles, recently, I'd say like about two years ago, we redefined a bit like what we are as a cégep. So in French, our theme is vivant. And in English, the theme translates to vibrant. So we move a lot. There's a lot of activities. It's also a cégep that promotes like everything that's green, healthy, recycling. I can go on for a long time. So the vibrant, we use the app actually to promote all our activities that are going on in the Cégep. So it's mostly for our students and for the employees. So the students go on this app and they can see what's going on today. So, there's a volleyball game at 12 o'clock at noon that we can participate in. Or at 3 o'clock, one of our leisure specialist is going to be in the hall and is giving away candy, so like you have all that on the app. We also use this to have for contests, so you're going to see a lot of that on Instagram and Facebook, of course, but Instagram and Facebook is out to the public, so the app is just really for our students, so they know what's going on in the Cégep. They can reserve their place. Say if they want to go training. With COVID, you can't have 20 or 30 people in the gym, so you could reserve your place to go train. It's really like just for the students and nothing that's really educational. So it's like really like leisures, activities, and what's going on for our student life. It's nothing to do necessarily with anything to do with school necessarily.
I know that the Cégep de Sept-Îles has many student activities to enhance the student life on campus. Can you briefly describe what activities an out-of-town student can look forward to?
So that's a good question. It's hard to say, like with COVID, there's a lot of things that have been put on hold. However, we're lucky to be on the North Shore. I guess everybody knows this, like everywhere that's in Gaspésie, Sept-Îles, baie-comeau. We've been pretty lucky because we're able to offer in-class courses. So students can come to school. When they're in school, they can go to the gym, they can practice sports. So in the last couple of weeks, we haven't been able to do theater and things like that, but now it's slowly starting to come back. So there's going to be more and more groups. So say like if everything would come back to normal next year, there are activities for any kind like of interests. There's, like I said, theater, there's sports, there's clubs, the green committee, there's the outdoors committee. So like if you want to go organize hiking expeditions with other students, there are things to do that. There's mental health activities that are held too. So really for any range of interests, you can find that at the Cégep. And what's cool too, that being like a small Cégep, is that if you have something or have an idea that we don't offer, you come see us and we can make that happen. So my example is always like we had students that were interested in photography, and we didn't have like a club or anybody taking photos of our events. And so we like, well, just like create your own group. And there was 4 or 5 students in that club, and we would like hire them for our events. So they would come and take pictures of different events we'd have in the evening or during lunch break, and we would pay them for their services. So